In the near future, death had changed. It was no longer a final curtain, but a brief intermission. The technology, once thought impossible, was now customary. An hour of life gifted back to the deceased, one final chance to say goodbye. The dim lighting in the funeral home gave the room a warm, almost comforting glow. Family and friends gathered in a semicircle, their faces a mixture of grief, anticipation, and hope. At the center, lying peacefully in an ornate casket, was David. He had passed 2 days ago, but today was not about mourning. Not yet. A quiet hum filled the room as the funeral director, a woman with a somber yet practiced demeanor, activated the reanimation device. Electrodes, discreetly hidden under David's suit, delivered a subtle pulse of energy to his body. For a moment, nothing happened. And then, with a shuddering breath, his chest rose. Gasps and sobs echoed in the room as David's eyes fluttered open. His expression was confused at first, but quickly softened as he took in the faces surrounding him. He blinked away tears, his lips curving into a weak but familiar smile. "It's so good to see you all," he whispered, his voice hoarse but filled with emotion. His wife, Sarah, was the first to step forward, tears streaming down her face. "David, I can't believe it. You're here." "I am," he replied softly, his eyes glistening. He reached out a trembling hand and she clasped it tightly. The warmth of her touch, the sight of her face, it was everything he needed in this fleeting moment. For the next hour, the room was filled with laughter, tears, and stories. David's children sat by his side, telling him how much they loved him, recalling the memories they had shared. His closest friends made jokes that made him chuckle, his laugh still carrying the same warmth it always had. He spoke of love, of regrets, of small hopes he had carried with him. And all the while, the clock ticked down. But as the minutes passed, a quiet understanding settled over the room. The inevitable was approaching. David's body grew weaker, his breaths more labored. The reanimation, as miraculous as it was, could only hold for so long. He turned to his family, his eyes heavy with emotion. "I don't have much time left," he whispered, "but I want you to know that I'm at peace. I love you all so much." Tears fell freely now. His wife leaned in, pressing her forehead to his, whispering a final goodbye. His children clung to his hand, unable to let go. He squeezed back as best he could, offering one last moment of connection, and then, quietly, the hour ended. David exhaled one final breath, his body falling still once more. The room was silent, save for the quiet sobs of those he had left behind. There was no shock, no rush to mourn, only a deep, bittersweet peace. They had their goodbye, their last hour together, and now it was time to let go.